You're watching ComicLore Unpacked, where heroes are deconstructed and myths are revealed. Everyone remembers the moment Bane broke the bat, the snap, the scream, the silence that followed. But the real question is not how he did it, it's why. For years, Gotham believed Batman was unbreakable, a shadow that never falls, a symbol that never bends. But even legends have limits. It all began in chaos. Gotham, a city choking under its own fear. Arkham Asylum, wide open. Hundreds of criminals flooding the streets, each one hungry for vengeance against the man who put them there. For weeks, Batman fought without sleep. Night after night, he hunted down every escapee. Two-Face, Scarecrow, Firefly. But for every victory, another monster rose. His body bruised, his mind fractured, his soul slipping into exhaustion. Somewhere in the shadows, a new kind of predator was watching. Not one born of chaos, but one who understood it. A man who studied fear the same way Bruce Wayne studied crime. That man was Bane.
Long before Gotham ever whispered his name, Bane was born into darkness in a prison called Peña Duro, deep within the island of Santa Prisca. His birth was a sentence. His father escaped justice, and the child paid the price. Raised among killers and thieves, he learned early that mercy was weakness and pain was education. Every day, he trained his mind as much as his body. Books were his escape, strategy his survival. By the time he was a man, he had read everything from military history to philosophy to the myths of Gotham's mysterious guardian. To the guards, he was just another inmate. But inside that mind, a storm was forming. He began to believe that true freedom comes only through the mastery of fear. Then came Venom, a secret experiment meant to create the perfect soldier. It didn't break him. It made him something else. His strength grew monstrous, but his intellect sharper. Where others lost control, Bane found clarity. The drug did not consume him, it obeyed him. And that balance between power and will became the foundation of his philosophy. Bane looked at Gotham from afar and saw in Batman not an enemy, but a mirror. Another man forged by trauma, another prisoner, but of a different kind. Bruce was chained to his mission, and Bane decided that to prove his own strength, he would have to break the one man who embodied control. He would conquer the symbol of discipline with the power of pure, calculated chaos. And so he sailed toward Gotham, not as a conqueror, but as a philosopher with a single experiment, to test whether a legend could survive absolute fear.
When Bane arrived in Gotham, he didn't attack. He observed. He unleashed chaos and waited for the bat to crumble under its own weight. Every night he watched from the rooftops, every fight, every injury. He learned when Batman returned to the cave, when he ate, when he rested, if he rested at all. Gotham's criminals feared Batman, but Bane, he studied him. Not as a hunter studies prey, but as a scientist studies a mystery. He understood that to break the bat, he needed to destroy Bruce Wayne first,
Strip away the discipline. Leave only fatigue. Then strike. One night, after weeks of endless battles, Bruce returned to the cave barely able to stand, his armor cracked, his body shaking, his will dim. And that's when the shadows moved. Bane stepped from the darkness, silent, deliberate, inevitable. He didn't shout, he didn't taunt, he simply said, "I knew you would not rest, detective. Now I will break you." The fight was not cinematic. It was brutal, one-sided. Every strike from Batman met a wall of power and precision. Every counter too slow, too tired. The cave echoed with impact, with breath, with inevitability. Bane lifted him high above his head, the man who had defeated gods and monsters and brought him crashing down upon his knee. Silence. In that moment, Gotham's protector became its victim. The bat was broken. But the true damage wasn't to the spine. It was to the idea. The myth of the unbreakable had been shattered. Gotham changed overnight. Its dark guardian was gone. In his place, silence, chaos, and fear. Bane didn't kill Batman. He displayed him, a broken symbol for a broken city. Gotham's criminals saw their nightmare fall, and for the first time, they stopped hiding. But Bane's victory wasn't about domination. It was about ideology. He believed Gotham's hope was a lie, that only through despair could people find truth. As he ruled the city, he didn't just crush bones, he crushed illusions. He made Gotham live without its savior, to prove that chaos was the city's natural state. Meanwhile, far from the streets he once protected, Bruce Wayne lay in darkness, his body shattered, his spirit worse. In those moments of agony, he saw what Bane had truly done. He hadn't simply broken Batman, he had broken the mission. For years, Bruce believed pain was fuel, but now pain became the prison. He questioned everything, his vow, his worth, his legend. Gotham didn't need a hero of strength. It needed a man who understood limits, a man who could rise without the mask. And so began the true battle, not between Bane and Batman, but between Bruce Wayne and himself. As Gotham burned under Bane's control, the symbol of fear had to be reborn through acceptance, through failure, through humanity. Because the bat was not meant to be invincible. It was meant to endure.
Time passed. The myth of Batman faded into whispers. But pain has a strange way of rebuilding what it destroys. As Bruce recovered, he learned something Bane never understood. Strength is not the absence of fear, but the mastery of it. Bane believed he had proven that chaos was the truth of man. But in trying to break the bat, he gave Bruce a greater purpose, the power to rise. Not because of strength,
but because of will. In every story of the Bat, this lesson returns. The fall is never the end. It's the measure of what endures. Bane wanted to destroy a symbol. Instead, he redefined it. He showed the world that even legends bleed, and that makes them real. The broken bat became something stronger, not a god, not a ghost, but a man who accepts pain as part of his purpose. That is the paradox of Batman. He was never meant to win every battle. He was meant to rise after every fall. So when we look back at that iconic moment, the snap of the spine, the silence of defeat, we shouldn't see weakness. We should see rebirth. Because the real reason Bane broke the bat wasn't to end him. It was to remind us that even the strongest heroes are human first. And maybe that's why Batman endures, not as a symbol of power, but as proof that no matter how deep the darkness, we can always rise again. You've been watching ComicLore Unpacked, where heroes are deconstructed and myths are revealed. Subscribe for more hidden truths behind the icons of the comic world.